Hello, my name is Austin Briley, a teacher candidate attending York University in the Bachelor of Education program in Toronto, Canada. I have been learning about the discrimination and segregation of varying cultural groups throughout Canadian history and how the multiculturalism policy had been put in place to create a more diverse and inclusive society for all cultures. The policy's goal was to assist cultural groups to retain and foster their identity and to overcome the barriers to allow for their full participation in Canadian society. The question I had set out to answer is if Black Canadians and varying cultural groups in Canada now have equal educational opportunities in order to thrive in contemporary society. Discrimination against the Francophone community in Canadian history has been a deeply rooted issue. Despite the fact that both the French and British played roles in the initial colonization of Canada, the Francophone community faced significant challenges in society. The journey of diversity and inclusion of the Francophone community has seen significant milestones over the years. Canada was the first country in the world to pass a national multiculturalism law focused on the preservation of culture and language, reducing discrimination and enhancing cultural awareness. For the French Canadian community, this helped to develop full administration of French language schools, resulting in the existence of 8 Catholic French language school boards and 4 French language public school boards in Ontario that are seen today. Premier Kathleen Wynne officially apologized in 2006, acknowledging the historical discrimination faced by the Francophone community due to Regulation 17, helping to revisit past wrongs and fostering a more inclusive environment for French language education in Canada. Today, the French language is taught in school boards all across Canada. In the Toronto District School Board, there are programs in place to help students with special educational needs succeed in French education programs. Having programs like this helps to promote and get more students involved in the learning of the French language. The Black community also endured a long and painful legacy of discrimination and segregation. This injustice began with the transatlantic slave trade, which brought over 12 million enslaved Black individuals to various parts of the world, including Canada, from the 16th to the early 19th century. Enslaved Black people were brought and sold, forced to work in both Upper and Lower Canada, and subjected to dehumanizing conditions. The lingering effects of segregation are still felt today, with Black individuals encountering microaggressions that affect their sense of cultural acceptance and limit their opportunities for success in education and society. These systemic barriers originating from Canada's historical enslavement of the Black community persists, highlighting the importance of raising awareness and working to eliminate microaggressions in education and throughout society. This ongoing effort is crucial to ensure the full inclusion of Black Canadians in all aspects of Canadian life. Diversity and inclusion of the Black community in Canadian history have seen significant developments over the years. In 1993, Ontario took a pivotal step by introducing Black History Month, a dedicated time to honor the contributions of the Black community in building Canada and recognizing their sacrifices. This initiative gained even more momentum with the enactment of Bill 207, designating February as Black History Month every year in Ontario. This annual observance continues to be a platform for raising awareness about the Black community's heritage and struggles across Canada. Today, movements like Black Lives Matter have emerged as powerful agents of change, shedding light on racism, discrimination, and racial inequalities experienced by Black Canadians and advocating for anti-racist policies. The importance of raising awareness is to promote multiculturalism and ensure the equal and inclusive participation of Black Canadians in today's diverse and evolving society. The ongoing journey towards diversity, inclusion, and social justice continues to shape the narrative of Canadian history, acknowledging and addressing the past while striving for a more equitable future. The Toronto District School Board offers many programs such as the Centre of Excellence for Black Student Achievement, which works to help Black Canadian students of today in learning, achieving, and their overall well-being. These programs that are offered encourage Black Canadians to engage in activities that reinforce positive racial identity and honor the lived experiences of the learners. Throughout Canadian history, the discrimination and segregation of the Indigenous community was shown with the implementation of residential schools. The reconciliation and inclusion of the Indigenous community has been a long and complex journey. The Indigenous voices began to gain recognition, as their protests played a pivotal role in driving change. In 1969, the Department of Indian Affairs severed the Church's involvement with residential schools, marking a significant step in acknowledging the painful effects these institutions had on the children. By 1986, most residential schools had closed, with the last one shutting its doors in 1996 in Saskatchewan. Former residential school students played a crucial role in demanding recognition for the suffering they endured. The government responded by establishing a compensation package for the survivors of these schools, acknowledging the deep scars left by the residential school system. In 2008, Prime Minister Stephen Harper delivered a public apology, addressing all former students who suffered in Canada's residential schools. His apology brought up the forced removal of Indigenous children from their families, their assimilation into the dominant culture, and the immense suffering they endured during the time in these institutions. The same year, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada was instituted, providing former residential school survivors with a platform to share their stories and experiences. Today, Truth and Reconciliation Day is observed annually to honor the children who never returned home and to pay tribute to the survivors of residential schools, as well as their families and communities. On this day, people wear orange shirts, symbolizing the importance of the phrase "every child matters," and commemorating the enduring resilience of Indigenous individuals and communities. Today there are many programs that are offered, such as programs from the Toronto Council Fire Native Cultural Centre, which aim to provide counseling, material assistance, and essential services for Indigenous communities. Programs like this help to empower Indigenous identity and allow people to come together and showcase the rich cultural diversity of the young Indigenous community.